Today is January the 8th, 2025, and take a look at the latest headlines with me. Coming out, Iranian Channel 3, in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes. Here's another one. Iranian media hints at imminent extraordinary events amid rising tensions. Now, you can see this actually came out yesterday, January the 7th, and take a look. I tracked down the source of this. It started spreading across X, and you can see just in Iranian state media says that in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes of extraordinary events. You can see another one here, Iranian Channel 3, in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes and developments. Iranian state media reports that in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes and extraordinary events. Iranian Channel 3, in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes. And here's another one, and you can see that this came out 19 hours ago. So we did not see anything unfold. And why is that? It is because I did a little bit more research for you guys. It turns out that the Iranian Channel 3 News did make this statement, but they made it back in August of 2024. So it is very important to always do your research on these things to verify that it is valid information. So what is spreading right now across social media platforms and even across news outlets, as you can see, is unverified information that came out back in August of 2024 that an Iranian news station said that in the coming hours, there is going to be extraordinary events the world has not seen. This is back when tensions were high between Israel and Iran, and we saw those attacks unfolding. This is recirculated news coming out from months ago. However, that does not take away from the fact that tensions are high right now and things are taking place. Just the incoming hours, extraordinary global events rhetoric, that is old news. But take a look at this with me. Israeli military, they are on high alert right now as regional tensions, they are increasing and Iranian rhetoric is escalating. We are hearing the threats of attacks, just not in the coming hours. As you saw, that was January 7th. Nothing unfolded. In addition to that, if you missed the video footage, I shared it with you live yesterday. Trump came out and in the news conference that he was in said, all hell is going to break out in the Middle East if Gaza hostages are not released. So make no mistake about it. Tensions are high right now in the Middle East. Things are escalating. It's just not going to be in the coming hours because that actually did come out from an Iranian news outlet back in August of 2024. But as you guys know here on the channel, I like to try to get you all the latest information, verify it, make sure that it is accurate and up to speed, up to date. Try to hold myself to the highest level of accountability and doing research so that way my community can rest assured that it is the latest information. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys caught up as to what is actually going on, play for you the video footage, let you know about the threats that are currently taking place, and let you know that these headlines that are coming out and the stuff spreading across social media, what is actually accurate and what is just being regurgitated as the original source was not accurate. And if you appreciate that, do me a favor, take a quick second, hit that like button for me, help spread this out further so more people can see the latest information coming out across the YouTube platform. In addition to that, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Like I said, it's totally free and I'll keep you up to speed on everything because there is a lot going on in our world right now. We have conflicts, as we're going to be diving into, in the Middle East right now with Israel, various proxy groups led by Iran and Iran itself. We also have conflicts taking place with Russia and Ukraine. More developments happening over there as well. Donald Trump saying in that interview yesterday, he's going to be ending that war. He was asked by an interviewer, hey, or one of the press, are you going to be doing this in the next 6 months? And he said, 6 months? I hope to do it way sooner than that. We need to have a sit down with Vladimir Putin, Zelensky, and we need to discuss ending this war. It's unnecessary. It's dragging on. We're losing lives and money that is not necessary. We also have conflicts with China, Taiwan, North Korea, South Korea, and we just saw this week North Korea do another missile launch test of an IRBM, and they are saying that right now North Korea, they have advanced in their nuclear powers beyond anything we've ever seen. It's been an exponential increase recently, and now we need to take them into consideration as an actual threat to the U.S. as they have the ability, they said, to hit anywhere on U.S. soil, including Washington, D.C., Florida, Texas, you name it. They now have these capabilities, and they're saying that also the bromance that we saw before with Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un, it's no longer there. They're saying the environment has changed. Things have changed significantly since the last time that Donald Trump was in office, and now they're saying Kim Jong-un, he's likely to be a lot more hostile than he was before and not just get along because they have advanced so much in their military and nuclear abilities. And also now Kim Jong-un has sort of buddied up with Vladimir Putin. And we're seeing a lot of our adversaries becoming emboldened as they're unifying against the United States. So it is going to be a very different story we're hearing now between Donald Trump and North Korea. But also, like I said, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest that's going on in the Middle East. And Donald Trump getting very aggressive in his rhetoric against Iran and against Gaza and the hostages that are being held. And he said, all hell will break out. Now, he was asked to elaborate, and he said, listen, we're in the middle of negotiations. I'm not going to give away what we're talking about. Do you need me to elaborate and explain all hell is going to break out? He said, it means what it means. But he said, if they are not released by the time that I am in office on August 20th, all hell is going to break out in the Middle East. So we will see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But let's go ahead and take a look. So that way you can see everything that is going on, because as I mentioned, this is spreading across social media. Wanted to let people know what is actually taking place. And again, if you appreciate that, take a second, hit the like button, hit subscribe to stay up to date. Let me share with you what's coming out. And let's start off taking a look at the headlines that have been spreading around saying that in the next coming hours, that there is going to be an attack, and we'll take a look at what is actually going on so that way you guys can see it for yourself. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So as you can see, even news media outlets coming out and saying Iranian Channel 3 in the coming hours, the world will witness unusual scenes. Here's another one that came out. Iranian media hints at imminent extraordinary events amid rising tensions. And here you can see on X, this has been spreading over the last roughly 18 hours. And I did a little bit of research on this. This is inaccurate information. Now, let's take a look at this. That's going to do a little bit of a breakdown so that way you can see it for yourself. It says, did an Iranian channel predict extraordinary global events in the coming hours? Well, here is what we know. In fact, the social media circulating comment from an Iranian TV anchor that predicts extraordinary events in the next hours, and as you can see, it's been about 19 hours and nothing has happened, was made in August of 2024. And was not a direct prediction, but rather a reference to continuing geopolitical tensions. The comment suddenly acquired popularity once more, we're seeing in the last 19 hours, causing misunderstanding. The Middle East was experiencing tensions at the time of the Iranian TV story, and you can see this one coming out, being updated today. There is the date, January 8th, 2025. Now, that does not take away from the fact that there currently are escalating tensions right now in the Middle East, and we have threats coming out just in the last 24 hours. Now, take a look at this with me. This is from the Jerusalem Post, and you can see this being updated today, January the 8th. Israeli military on high alert as regional tensions, Iranian rhetoric escalates. Faced with the mounting military, economic, and political pressures, Iran may seek to strike Israel in the coming days. So, make no mistake, there are tensions that are high. There could be attacks that could be coming, but it's not going to be in the next hours, as reported yesterday. Although experts say escalating Iranian rhetoric could be mere bluster. Now, this article says, Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halavi has placed the Israeli military on high alert, warning that Iran may take extreme measures against Israel in the coming days. According to a report from Walla News, this heightened caution stems from escalating tensions in Iran in the country's economic, political, and military spheres. Unnamed defense sources cited in the report indicate that these factors, combined with uncertainty surrounding the return of President-elect Donald Trump to the White House later this month, could push Tehran towards aggressive actions. And we've heard that they could be trying to develop a nuclear weapon as well. We've heard the warnings about what they could potentially develop in days or weeks. Given the complex and unpredictable nature of Iran's current situation, Israeli military leadership is preparing for a range of possible scenarios, though specific details were not disclosed. This attack would be the third direct Iranian attack on Israel since the war began, following major strikes in April of 2024 and October of 2024. Now, Mir Litvak, a senior research associate at the Alliance Center for Iranian Studies at Tel Aviv University, said that the most likely target for a potential Iranian attack is domestic Israeli infrastructure rather than Israeli embassies abroad. I can imagine another major missile attack. This could be one option. Another option could be an attempt to target Israeli natural gas drilling stations or a major cyber attack aiming at paralyzing a critical system in Israel, Litvak told the media line. Now, he advised Israeli civilians to be cautious, but to avoid panicking, noting that more information will likely be available soon. Benny Sapti, a researcher in the Institute of National Security Studies Iran program, said that Iran has long promised a third attack on Israel following attacks in April and October of last year. They've conducted the second attack, but the third one seems stuck, and they are very frustrated about that, he told the media line. Over the past few days, there have been a lot of promises in Iranian media saying they will attack at the right place and time and that it will surely come. He explained that the Iranian military is currently conducting a major exercise involving air, naval, and ground forces. So they are preparing for a potential attack here, and they are reporting on it, yet we are yet to see this come to fruition. There's a concern that they could use this exercise as a cover-up for launching an attack, similar to what Egypt and Syria did in 1973, starting with a maneuver and turning it into a war, Sapti said. Timing and motives. Litvak said that the timing of a potential Iranian attack might be linked to the upcoming change in the U.S. administration. And we've heard these warnings about things escalating as we approach January 20th. Probably they want to set something in motion, assuming U.S. President Joe Biden would hesitate to respond strongly in the last few days of his term, he said. They may hope to act before Trump takes office, thinking Biden won't respond decisively and that Trump won't retaliate immediately upon taking power. Let me know your thoughts. So again, we're hearing kind of working off of the rhetoric that the current administration is weak in the eyes of our adversaries, so therefore they're taking advantage of this time. He said that Iran may be attempting to force Trump to react to an already escalating situation. Sapti emphasized that Iran's recent rhetoric may be aimed at increasing psychological pressure on Israel rather than an actual escalation. These statements are about showing strength, saying, "We are here, we exist, you didn't beat us." It's a way of thinking rooted in Iranian and Shiite culture, he said. Now, he compared current Iranian rhetoric to that of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah when he insisted that his group had achieved victory in the 2006 war with Israel despite incurring significant losses. While Iran may talk a big talk, Sapti said it likely understands the sensitivity of the current moment. If they are already this afraid of Trump, and he's not even in the White House yet, what will they do when he actually takes office, he said. Israel has improved its defenses and Iran lacks proper protection, he continued. I just can't imagine them taking such a risk. And there you have it. They are saying that they are afraid of Donald Trump and what he will bring to the table when he enters into office. We're hearing that this is the Trump effect, and let me know, are you excited about it? If so, drop those 47s in the comments, and don't forget to hit the like button if you appreciate the updates as to what is going on right now. Now, Iranian strategy and limitations. Litvak described Iran's current position as one of internal debate following setbacks in Syria and Lebanon. Should they reconsider or restructure their proxy strategy, perhaps relying more on Iraqi militias and less on Hezbollah, or should they abandon the proxy strategy altogether and instead focus on nuclear deterrence? There are voices in Iran now calling for a commitment to nuclear weapons, he said. He said that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has likely not yet made a decision about how to move forward. The Iranians certainly suffered a setback, but they may want to show that, despite this, they remain powerful and undeterred, he said. Sapti said that Iranian proxies are unlikely to be involved in a potential attack. Which proxy? Hezbollah has its own problems. No money, no command, he said. Iraqi militias have put their guns aside, especially with Trump about to take office. That leaves us only with the Houthis, but they're occupied with their own issues. Iranian domestic issues, including fuel shortages and electricity outages, may complicate Khamenei's decision-making. Now, they have to decide whether pursuing a foreign venture is wise while facing such difficulties at home, Litvak said. Sapti said that Iran may not be able to afford an attack on Israel. They're facing the worst economic situation ever. Inflation is out of control. Basic food prices have risen by 70% or more, and there are daily electricity shortages lasting 6 or 7 hours. They can't even provide clean air and water, he said. They still have to face their own people, he continued. How many times can they tell the population to eat ideology instead of bread? Now, Israeli preparedness. Without support from the United States, Israel is not capable of complete defense against an Iranian attack, Litvak said, estimating that Iran still possesses more than 1,000 ballistic missiles. For a major missile attack, we have protection, but we don't have enough anti-missile systems to intercept all Iranian missiles, he said. This is why we need American support. If they launch, say, 400 missiles, we'll face a problem. We can intercept some of those missiles, and others may fall into open areas, but it remains a significant issue. While acknowledging that Israel currently enjoys significant support from the United States, Litvak expressed concern about future American aid to Israel under the coming Trump administration and in the transition period. I fear that our current government is making every effort to make Israel unpopular in the U.S., he said. My great fear is that eventually we may lose American support. The Americans may grow tired of us. Sapti, on the other hand, said that Israel was likely well prepared to face another Iranian strike. I don't have an exact military knowledge, but Israel is very good at learning lessons and improving its systems, he said. Unlike Iran, where they don't criticize themselves or reassess their strategies, Israel constantly evaluates and upgrades its capabilities. He highlighted Israel's multi-layer defense system, mentioning the recent interception of the Houthi missiles by an American system as an example of effective cooperation. There are layers upon layers of defense, and Israel also has other actions that it can take. We've seen surprises before, so I wouldn't rule out anything, he said. So there you have it, you guys. So we are hearing that tensions are escalating over there, and there could be potential attacks coming in the coming days, but again, not in the coming hours like we're seeing in all the headlines that have been spreading in the last roughly 17 to 18 hours. And take a look at this. Now, if you missed it, we had heard that Trump in a news conference had said that all hell is going to break out in the Middle East if the Gaza hostages are not released. And let me know, do you think that this is a good move by Donald Trump, saying, hey, it's time to take care of business, and if you do not release those hostages, the United States is going to bring down the hammer. All hell will be to pay. If you think this is good, drop a 47 so that way I can see in the comments that support for Donald Trump. Now, in addition to that, let's go ahead and take a look at the video footage so that way you can see it for yourself. Now, I shared this to you yesterday live while he said it, but let's take another look so you can get a reminder and see it for yourself.
All hell will be paid. All hell must be paid if they don't release the hostages.
Well, do I have to define it for you? Look, all hell will break out. If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is. And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that. But there was, and many people are killed. They're no longer hostages. I have people from Israel and others calling, begging me to get, we had also people there from the United States, just so you know. They're holding some so-called hostages from the U.S. But I've had mothers come to me and fathers crying, can I get the body of their son back? Can I get the body of their daughter back? That beautiful girl where they threw her in the car, pulled her by her ponytail and threw her in the car like she was a sack of potatoes. I said, what happened to her? Sir, she's dead. Like a 19, 20-year-old beautiful girl. And the way they treated her. And I just say it this very simply. Steve's got a job to do. He's a great guy, great negotiator, great person. They respect him over there already. It's what we needed over there. We have people that know everything about the Middle East, but they can't speak properly. They don't know. He's a great negotiator. That's what I needed. I could have sent that gentleman right over there, Hussein. He's a great negotiator. There are people, they're rare. Great negotiators are very rare, like a great surgeon. But we have the right person. But I tell this, I don't want to hurt the negotiation. If the deal isn't done before I take office, which is now going to be 2 weeks, all hell will break out in the Middle East. Okay? Thank you, Mr. President. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
We handcraft every
There you have it, you guys. So that was Donald Trump yesterday. I shared it with you live as he said all hell will break out if they do not address this. And he is saying that is by the time he gets into office. So he said if they do not get into office, that there's going to be all hell to pay. And you saw the reporters asking if he could elaborate on it. And he said, what do I need to elaborate about? What about that do you not understand? And he said, and I don't want to mess up the negotiations that are currently taking place. So I'm not going to elaborate on it. But just in the Middle East, all hell will break loose if we do not get those hostages. And again, let me know if you agree. It has been well over a year now. And we saw that attack take place October 7th of 2023. And we still have hostages that are being held in Gaza. And we have seen Israel pushing and pushing against these proxy groups, trying to get those hostages back, refusing the Biden administration requesting a ceasefire agreement, saying there will be a ceasefire when you release the hostages. These attacks should not have taken place, as we actually heard Trump say yesterday. People forget about that we need those hostages back. We also need to secure the borders. We need to make sure that the north, where Hezbollah is, that is taken care of and that people can move back into their homes. We need to eradicate these threats. These are the requests of Israel. And Donald Trump saying that when he comes in, by the time he is in office, if the hostages are not back, there will be all hell to pay. So Trump shaking things up quite a bit, and he is president-elect. He's not even in office yet, and we are seeing him dishing out warnings, threats, letting them know that he is not going to be playing around. And we're hearing that right now, Iran, they are scared of Donald Trump. We're hearing other adversaries like Iran, Russia, North Korea, China. They have not been scared of Joe Biden, and that is why they've been emboldened to do the things that we have seen over the last 4 years. But now we're hearing the Trump effect, they are calling it, is taking place as various nations are starting to posture differently. Vic the Red, thank you for the $2 super chat. Why has the UN not gotten them back? Well, we've actually heard the UN, a lot of them just saying, hey, ceasefire. We've actually seen accusations against Israel. So it has pretty much been Israel feeling like they've been on their own and just getting military support from the United States. But now they're going to have an ally in Donald Trump as he comes in, and he is aggressively pushing to support Israel. And again, if you like that, put a 47 in the comments and hit that like button, because we're hearing that finally Trump is going to be saying it's time to put America first. We heard in that speech yesterday, he said the rest of the world is taking advantage of us. They think we're stupid. And he said, I've had enough of it. He said the Panama Canal, we're going to get that back. Greenland, we're going to get that back. He said, not get that back, but we're going to go ahead and acquire that for strategic moves. And actually, a lot of the things that he's been doing as president-elect have been shaking things up already. If you haven't heard, Greenland, they're announcing that they want to be free from Denmark. They want their own independence to make their own decisions with who they choose and who to do business with. This could be a step in the direction of the United States. In addition to that, we saw the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, step down. And we heard that that was a big portion of Donald Trump's pressure on him. As he said, unless you figure out how to secure your borders and operate your nation without ripping off the United States of America to the tunes of billions of dollars a year, well, we're going to put 25% tariffs on you. And we heard Justin Trudeau responded and said that would absolutely decimate the Canadian economy. You can't do that to us. And he said, well, if you can't survive without ripping off the United States, well, maybe you should join us. Maybe you can be the governor of Canada. And if you missed it, just yesterday, I shared with you guys a post. Donald Trump, he is trolling. He is posting those. He is posting Canada and United States as one with an American flag over the top of all of it, or with the text United States. Like he is ready to buy. Donald Trump, real estate tycoon, he is ready to acquire more real estate, as he is saying he is ready to take on Canada. Now, in actuality, is Canada going to be unified with the United States? I don't know. We will see. I think a lot of it could be in jest and joking and pressure to try to fix a lot of the economic hardships that he feels like the United States has been taking on because of these other nations taking advantage of the kindness of the U.S. And he is saying he has had enough. In addition to that, as I mentioned, Panama Canal, Greenland, he's pushing tariffs hard. So he is definitely shaking things up. And for the conflicts taking place all over the world, he is also taking a very aggressive approach. You can hear the rhetoric here with the conflict in the Middle East and involving Iran and their proxy groups. And he also addressed Russia and Ukraine. So Donald Trump coming in like a hammer. He is coming in, and he is coming in hot. And so January 20th, it is just about a week or two away. And so when he comes in, we're going to be seeing what takes place as he is addressing a lot of issues. And like I said, we're just seeing things escalate right now at this time. And again, if you missed it, I see a lot of people coming in a little bit late here. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if this is your first time here, if you appreciate the updates. But we've been seeing headlines coming out like this. In just the last roughly not even 24 hours, Iranian Channel 3 says there's going to be, in the coming hours, the world is going to witness an unusual scene. Iranian media hints at imminent extraordinary events amid rising tensions. Now, as you guys know here on the channel, I research everything. I try to verify it before I post it, so that way I can do my best to hold myself accountable to the community. I found the sources of this circulating around X. It actually was trending on X that in the coming hours, there was going to be attacks. This coming out yesterday. You can see 18 hours ago, nothing unfolded. Why is that? Because with further research, it turns out that those threats of in the coming hours came out back in August of 2024. Now, like I said, though, that does not take away from the tensions that are rising with the rhetoric between Donald Trump and Iran. And also, we're hearing Israel is preparing their military for potential attacks that could be coming here in the coming days. And we've also heard the warnings about Iran trying to get their hands on a potential nuclear weapon, a nuclear bomb to potentially detonate against Israel or the U.S. We're hearing threats against both. And we've actually heard Donald Trump say, why don't we just go ahead and let Israel? He said, I don't understand why the Biden administration is doing this. The Biden administration is requesting that they show restraint, not hit nuclear facilities, not hit military facilities, not hit oil refineries. And Trump is saying, why not? It's an existential threat to the nation of Israel and to the United States, as Iran shouts death to Israel, death to the U.S., calls the U.S. the big Satan and Israel the little Satan. He's saying, hit those nuclear facilities. Why not? Let Israel do what they need to do. It's not only going to help out Israel, it's going to help out the United States as well. We should go ahead and address this conflict now while Iran is weak and they are hit and hit hard. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Put yes if you agree with Donald Trump and you think, hey, why not let Israel just hit those nuclear facilities, take away that existential threat? Or put no if you agree with the current administration, the Biden administration, that is saying, do not hit those nuclear facilities. Do not hit those oil refineries. In fact, we actually saw the Biden administration come out and offer a compensation package to Israel, saying, listen, if you don't hit their nuclear facilities, if you don't hit their oil refineries, we'll offer you a package of more funding, more military aid, more diplomatic support, all of these things if you don't do this. So very, very different approaches to these conflicts that are taking place here. The Biden administration asking for ceasefire, Trump coming in and saying there's going to be all hell to pay if you guys do not release those hostages, escalating the tensions in the Middle East. And I'm seeing a lot of yeses pouring in, people saying yes, they agree with Donald Trump. And again, if you appreciate the updates, do me a favor. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like button. Help spread this out further so more people can get the latest information. In addition to that, I like to make sure that people get the accurate information. I saw this spreading around social media, and I wanted to make sure that people knew that no, not in the coming hours, this is not actually being reported. This is old information. That is why you got to be very careful with the social media platforms. Sometimes something can start spreading around X, and if you do a little bit deeper digging into it, you'll find out, oh, it's misunderstanding or confusion that started spreading and more people reporting on it. So I want to make sure that you guys get accurate information. So I wanted to make sure to tap into that and also share with you what is actually taking place, share with you actual video footage, and all of these articles, they are linked in the description below. I cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, so that way you can see it for yourself and know exactly what is the latest information that is coming out. So, like I mentioned, though, we will see what's going to be unfolding here. We are just days away from Donald Trump coming into office. Things are escalating, but I will keep you guys up to date every step of the way. And again, if you appreciate that, don't forget, take a quick second, hit that like button, subscribe. I see Moon Pie saying, sad that there's no pro-Biden channels for you Trump haters to go make one. Yeah, you know, actually, I saw a poll release yesterday. I wasn't able to verify it, but I saw it trending on social media, so I don't know the validity of it, but they said that Joe Biden, according to polls, I think it was Gallup, they said that they are saying that he has been voted as the second worst president in U.S. history ever. They said that he took a major step back for our nation. And let me know if you agree with that. Now, if you're wondering who is the first worst, according to this Gallup poll, they are saying is Jimmy Carter. They said Jimmy Carter was the worst president ever. And actually, I was having this conversation at the breakfast table this morning with my kids and with my wife. And my son, he's like 7 years old. And he said, hey, Dad, well, who was the worst president? Who was worse than Joe Biden? And I was like, well, according to the Gallup poll, it was Jimmy Carter. And he said, what did Jimmy Carter do to be considered the worst president, even worse than Biden? And I told him, I was like, I really don't know. I need to do some research on Jimmy Carter. I wasn't around back then, but it must have been pretty bad if he is considered, even today, worse than Joe Biden. So let me know if you know in the comments what he did. But I'm going to do some research myself because, man, I don't know what Jimmy Carter did, but I can tell you that I've been through the past 4 years with the Biden administration. And I got to say, like that comment said from Moon Pie, doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of pro-Biden channels out there right now. I think just so many people are tired of what we've seen with the conflicts that have been rising up all over the world. We are without a doubt seeing our adversaries emboldened. They believe that there is weak leadership in place with the foreign nations. In addition to that, the economy, people very unhappy with the inflation. All of the rhetoric that we have found out has been false regarding the jobs and information, and essentially the gaslighting, telling us, no, things are fine. Look at the jobs are doing well. The economy is great. Yet you go to the grocery store and you can see for yourself the prices rising and the hardship that people are facing every single day in the economy. You're telling us that we can't believe our eyes, that our eyes are lying to us. What we are seeing is false, being lied to right now. I could go on and on, but I'll just go ahead and stop. I typically don't like to give my opinion on this, but I understand, and I feel like a lot of people are very happy and looking forward to a change that is coming, and I think it's actually pretty evident when you take a look at the results of the county maps for the electorals as to what came out during the elections. It was pretty overwhelming. The vast majority of the nation said they vocalized in their votes they wanted Donald Trump. And let me know your thoughts. If you're looking forward to it, like I said, drop those 47s and hit that like button, because we're going to be seeing, I believe, a whole lot of transition, a whole lot of changes coming. Very different approach in leadership coming here on the world stage and here in the U.S. We're hearing Iron Domes could be coming to the U.S., and a lot of moves, a lot of potential real estate could be purchased here with Donald Trump, president-elect, that is going to be coming into office. But like I said, we will see. I see Steven saying, pray for Canada. Yes, pray for Canada right now. Pray for California, says Don. Yes, if you haven't seen it, there have been wildfires spreading in the southern Los Angeles area. From what I understand, it's where there are a lot of wealthy individuals that live, a lot of fire in that southern location. I've got several friends down there, and a lot of them said, fortunately, the fires are not in their parts of Los Angeles, so I'm thankful I was able to check on my friends. They said they are doing well, but they said that there is that portion where there's acres that are burning, and it's pretty bad. And what's interesting about it is that this is not, uncommon for there to be massive fires that take place in California. I was letting people know that's actually one of the major reasons why I left when I was there, was that I couldn't breathe. My asthma was kicking up every summer because of all the fires. The sky was literally red. Some people don't understand that aren't from there. Take a look at the San Francisco fire that happened back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019. You could not see the sky. You would come out, the skies were tinged with a dark red. You could not see the sun. It was blotted out. It would rain or snow ash because there was so much fires going on. And that was every summer. And I just said, I can't live like this. I can't breathe. I can't escape the smoke. There was smoke everywhere. And they said, this is going to keep happening. This is going to keep occurring. So I said, I can't stay here anymore. I can't even breathe in this state. So what's very interesting is that we're in the middle of January and we're seeing this happening as well. So it's no longer just the summer. So the odd thing about this is these major fires taking place in the middle of winter. So, yes, pray for California, for all the wildfires that are going on right now, and pray for our world. Pray for the U.S. as we're still getting information. If you missed that live stream yesterday coming out on the Cybertruck and the New Orleans attacks as well. And we're hearing that there could be more on the way. So, like I said, though, I'll continue to keep you guys up to date on everything, let you know everything as it unfolds. I see Cat Scratch saying Florida for Steve. Thank you for that. I appreciate the kind words and the support. Let's see here. Oh, what the says Jimmy Carter gave his remaining time to humanity, and he has the only one that did not a note at Bush Sr. funeral. He tried to find one. Not sure what that means, but thank you for researching Jimmy Carter. Yeah, I'm going to do some research myself because they're saying that he was the worst one, the worst president ever, worse than Joe Biden, who is now they're saying number 2. Sonia says, Steve, you are the best. Your news is better than TV. Thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to do my best to keep you guys up to speed on everything, research it, verify it, do my best to cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, and also, in addition to the articles being linked down below, again, there are various resources if you want to stock up. We've got those potassium iodide tablets. There's batteries, flashlights, candles, paper maps, various things you might want to have just in case. But I will keep you guys up to speed every step of the way. So that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.